All right, well, we're going to move some news because anti-ICE riots are breaking out across the country, mostly from North Los Angeles to New York, where we're seeing the worst stuff. Yesterday, as protesters demonstrated against the ongoing operations. The violence escalating, as you can see in California, as cars were set on fire. Officials dressed in riot gear used rubber bullets to disperse those crowds.
President Donald Trump is deploying 2,000 National Guard members to Los Angeles to combat the issue, slamming Democratic leadership, saying, quote, "We have an incompetent governor and mayor who were, as usual, unable to handle the task. These radical left protests by instigators and often paid troublemakers will not be tolerated."
Meanwhile, in New York, nearly 150 protesters clashed with police there as well, trying to block federal authorities from conducting immigration operations in Lower Manhattan. More than 20 people were arrested on that scene. So let's bring in Fox News Sunday anchor Shannon Bream. Shannon, it's great to see you this morning. I'm glad to have your legal mind for some of these topics. Let's start with what's going on in California. Governor Gavin Newsom criticizing the activation of National Guard there after those ICE protests turned violent. And, of course, AG Pam Bondi says, "We will prosecute you," writing on X. It doesn't matter if you're a judge, a member of Congress, or a protester in Los Angeles. If you obstruct or assault a law enforcement officer, this Department of Justice will prosecute you. Shannon, through your legal lens, what do you think of that?
So, listen, the president has authority in a lot of situations to do what he's doing, which is to mobilize the National Guard. Now, usually that's done in conjunction with the governor of that particular state. Clearly, these two see this very differently. We're told that they had about a 40-minute phone call, Governor Newsom and the president, to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. But what the governor has said publicly is, we don't need this. This is inflammatory. We had this under control. But what DHS said in an official statement yesterday on Saturday, they referred to what happened on Friday in L.A. They said there were more than 1,000 rioters there, and they said there was all kinds of dangerous stuff happening. There were attacks on their officers. There was damage. They said it took 2 hours, this is according to DHS, for the LAPD to show up and help them. So if Governor Newsom is going to say it's under control, our local and state, officials and authorities are helping, and DHS is saying, oh no, we were kind of under siege for 2 hours before you guys showed up, that's going to give President Trump what he feels like is the necessary authority to move forward.
So we spoke to Paul Morrow in a previous hour, and he made a very interesting point. If these protesters get charged with local crimes, then the local DAs are just going to drop the charges. How hard is it for them to figure out how to make charges, probably, I guess, federal charges that will definitely be prosecuted if they're levied?
Yeah, and I think that's where the warning from the Attorney General comes in. If you come after our officers, if you come after federal law enforcement officers, those are going to be federal charges. And Paul makes such a great point, like he always makes great points, that if you have local authorities who don't want to be participating in this at all, and they don't like what the feds are showing up and doing, you can count on almost zero prosecutions in a place like LA County. So it is important that the federal warning is there. These are federal officers, and that there's follow through from the feds, because if you're going after these officers who are trying to practice a legal authority that they have, and you guys have seen it, DHS has been putting out, ICE has been putting out, telling us who these people are they're trying to go after. And there are a lot of really bad people that are involved in these sweeps. And I can't imagine any people in these communities, including the ones that are protesting, want those specific individuals, rapists, murderers, child predators. They don't want them in their community. So give ICE some room to get to those people, because those are the real targets in these raids.
You know, Shannon, the poster boy for the bad hombres that Donald Trump wants to kick out of our country who are here illegally is Abrego Garcia. And so this is what NBC spoke to Donald Trump about the criminal charges for Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And here is what President Trump told NBC. He said that it wasn't his decision to bring Abrego Garcia, a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador, Was this NBC saying this? I'm sorry. President Trump on Saturday said that it wasn't his decision to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador, back to the U.S. to face federal charges, saying that, he thinks that this man is clearly guilty. He says he decided to do it that way, and that's fine. If the judges want to do it that way, it should be a very easy case for federal prosecutors, he says.
Yeah, I mean, the indictment is out there. People can read it for themselves. And what was so interesting to me is, gosh, there was a lot more than we knew that was going on under the surface with this investigation and what DOJ was putting together. We had all seen that video of the traffic stop in Tennessee from a couple of years ago. But to see what they've put together, this indictment came down May 21st. And apparently, once his story got out there, they were able to connect to a lot of other people, because this indictment alleges all kinds of co-conspirators, that he made more than 100 of these trips, trafficking, they allege, not only humans, women, children, gang members, guns, narcotics. I mean, if there is testimony to back all of that up, this is this guy's worst nightmare, because not only did you get deported to a country that you didn't want to go to, you are from there, but now you're back and you may spend, if you're convicted, a lot of time in a U.S. prison and then get deported again. So the allegations are very broad. This is not a one-time, we got you on that stop in Tennessee, that's it. The allegations go far, far beyond that.